right, with just 4 days left in his presidency, Barack Obama reflecting on his legacy and where he went wrong in his final interview from the White House. But instead of, taking a little blame, thinking about maybe some missteps he might have had along the way, he's blaming the media. He's blaming bad public relations. Watch.
There were big stretches while governing where even though we were doing the right thing, we weren't able to mobilize public opinion firmly enough behind us to weaken the resolve of the Republicans to stop opposing us or to cooperate with us. And there were times during my presidency where I lost the PR battle.
Really? Because it wasn't Ben Rhodes, his advisor, basically saying that, you could convince these reporters of anything. They really didn't know too much. And you could spin it however you wanted. Well, anyway, the president says it was just bad PR. That's all. Can he take any responsibility for his mistakes? Or even admit, some folks just didn't agree with his liberal agenda? For more, I want to bring back Gina Loudon and Leslie Marshall. Leslie, PR? Bad PR? That's his excuse for what may be a very damaged legacy?
Well, I'm not sure that he'll have an entirely damaged legacy or as damaged as many of us think it will be now. If nothing else, he will be always the first African-American, first biracial president. And that is a big thing.
He's got that going for him.
America
but,
with our past.
A failed economy, the rise of ISIS.
Well,
and by the way,
first of
worse
all,
race
ISIS
relations.
was in play long before. ISIS was in play long before President Obama was president or even Senator Obama. Secondly, when we look at the economy is in better shape than when he stepped into the role of commander-in-chief almost 8 years ago. We do have a lower unemployment rate. We do have job creation. I don't agree that it's PR, though, and I don't say that this was a referendum totally on him. Look what's happened since the election and Hillary Clinton has lost. We see polls that show people don't want the Affordable Care Act repealed and replaced in the numbers that they did before. I also think there was a lack of respect for this president and that he didn't do a good job reaching across the aisle and working with Republicans. Then again, Republicans like Senator Mitch McConnell made it clear they wanted him to be a one-term guy and wanted to block his legislation at every turn. So I don't think that it's 100% his blame, but I do think he should have accepted more responsibility.
Gina, I imagine you would differ considerably on things like the economy, on things like ISIS and race relations, which, of course, we were just showing that recent poll out of the Washington Post and ABC News, which shows that the majority of Americans now, significantly more, think that race relations are in a bad spot. So his legacy will be challenged. But how do you respond to Leslie saying it wasn't all or it may have been just actually PR, and the president's statement that it was just bad PR?
Yeah, you feel so bad for this guy, don't ya? It's not like he had any help from the media or Hollywood. Are you kidding me? The media was his PR team, Trish. Nobody has ever had it as easy as Barack Obama had it. And what he did with it, I'm sorry, it was disgraceful. What he did was, instead of taking the values of Americans and the things we were concerned about, like Islamic terror, like an economy that was completely stagnant, like a doubled debt under his presidency, instead of caring about those things, he tried to impose things like gender-neutral bathrooms and some sort of bizarre hatred toward police officers just because they were police officers, and open borders. Those were not American values, Trish, and he couldn't impose it on them, and now he's blaming PR. It's unimaginably narcissistic.
I think Gina makes a pretty good point here in that the media was his PR vehicle. As I mentioned, Ben Rhodes, right, being able to sort of get reporters to do what he wanted. You had Hollywood kneeling, bowing to this first African-American president. And rightly so. Everybody should be excited that he was the first African-American president. That's great. And we've come so far, yet we're dealing with worse race relations now.
I'll tell you why. And a lot of people aren't going to like what I have to say, but I'm honest with you 100%. This man is commander-in-chief, and I've talked about this with Bill O'Reilly. You got to respect the office even if you don't respect the man or woman that's holding that office. When you have a sitting congressman scream out, "You're a liar," never done before, and I don't believe ever will be done again. When you have a lot of people coming out now, and some of the rhetoric we're seeing and things and signs that we're seeing at schools, you know what, Trish? I don't believe that we didn't have a race problem. I think people are just more vocal in their hatred.
All right, well, then, if that's the
now
case, it's like
as
history
Obama leaves the
repeating
White House.
itself, because we certainly have many members of the left attacking Donald Trump
Yes.
in similar ways. I got to leave it there.
At least Republicans showed up for inauguration, right?
Yeah.
At least Republicans showed up for his inauguration.
Gina
yes.
Leslie, thank you so much.